morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, it's time to finish our look at VMAX Rising. Some sets, the Sun and Moon base set, took us like 2 weeks to get through all the cards because there were so many, etc. We have really put the pedal to the metal, put our foot down on this set. We've done quite a few videos over the past few days because I wanted to finish looking at this set on Monday, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly where we are. There are 5 Pokemon we have yet to have a look at. None of them are particularly great, but you never know what's going to end up seeing play. Nobody thought the Sea King from Sword and Shield was particularly good, and then that ended up winning some tournaments over in Japan. We need to be aware of all of these Pokemon. So we are going to do a bit of a speed round. We're going to go a little bit quickly than we usually would, but I cover every Pokemon on this channel, and I'm going to continue to do so. All of our translations, I should mention, come from the lovely David Hockman over at limitlesstcg.com/translations. And if we start off having a look at Abomasnow, 140 HP is big for a stage 1. Retreat cost of 3 is super annoying, as I keep saying in many videos. And a weakness to fire means a weakness to Welded X, which sucks. So a pretty bad start. For 1 grass, 2 colorless energy, you do 80 damage plus sleep. And although this is a pretty good attack, 80 damage is alright, sleep is super annoying, I don't know if it does enough. Now the good news is we've got Rillaboom that will accelerate 2 grass energy, which is lovely. So it essentially becomes a single energy attack. And we can always use Twin Energy as well. And between Rillaboom and Twin Energy, you're not going to struggle to pay the attack cost here. With sleep, you can always use Slumbering Forest so that your opponent has to flip double heads to wake up, and it could be a really quite annoying attack. But then again, I showed you Musharna the other day, and honestly, I'd rather use Musharna as a sleep Pokemon. Sorry. As for the second attack, we got 2 grass, 2 colorless energy, 140, and I don't really see much point in this. Because you see, the way we pay this attack cost is Rillaboom and Twin Energy. Rillaboom does 140 for 4 energy. Now, to be fair, Rillaboom can't... Well, you can use Twin Energy, but not really. Because Rillaboom needs 3 grass, not 2 grass, 2 colorless. But are we really going to play a stage 1 line just to do the same amount of damage that Rillaboom could be doing on its own? I really don't think we're going to be. Abomasnow is one of these classic Pokemon that it looks fine. It's alright. The damage is fine. The HP is fine. Everything is fine. But I don't know that there's anything about this Abomasnow about which we should be getting particularly excited. How about Bronzong? Yeah, that's right. We're getting a new Bronzong. 130 HP on a stage 1 is about as high as we can usually expect. Abomasnow is weirdly high. Once again, we've got that annoying retreat cost of 3. Once again, we've got that annoying weakness to fire. Though we do have a resistance to grass. So if those Rillaboom decks that I was just talking about end up becoming quite good, go Bronzong, go Bronzong, go, go, go Bronzong, go. First attack, 1 metal energy, 30 damage, no. Just no. I mean, maybe we end up with a 60 HP Fairy Routes. You get a 1-hit KO on that. And to be fair, for a while we did. But back then we had Registeel that did 30 damage for 1 metal energy, but also accelerated an energy in the process, so we liked it a whole heap more. And that was a while ago. That was Crimson Invasion, that one came out. On a stage 1 Pokemon, this isn't enough damage. 1 metal, 2 colorless energy, 70 damage. You switch to the bench, and your opponent switches to the bench. This could be kind of fun. The problem is it's in your opponent's control. This looks like the classic kind of attack where you look at it and you go, yes, I can make use of this. And then you take it into a real game and you realise that actually it's quite easy to play around. If you're playing against a deck that uses Lily's Clefairy Doll, they're going to put that in the active and they're just going to put one on the bench. It's not going to work. You see, a while ago, Spiritomb was a big Pokemon. Big Pokemon. And what it did was it blocked item cards while allowing you to evolve up your Pokemon. And at the time, I was playing a Donphan deck, which was extremely reliant on item cards. Spiritomb sucked. So what I did was I used a Regice at the time, and what Regice did was it basically discarded a couple cards from your hand, and it made your opponent switch their active Pokemon. It was wonderful at getting rid of Spiritomb, until my opponent dropped a second Spiritomb. And that's kind of my point here with Bronzong. It's a very useful attack, but 70 for free energy is not particularly great, though you can use that twin energy I mentioned. And then you've got a switch, which again, you can pop up a Lily's Pokédoll or some other blockers, so it's not the end of the world. But then your opponent switches. The problem is, your opponent switches after you've done the damage. So even if I don't want to muck around with Lily's Pokédoll, etc., they can just put up a free retreater. And you know what they're going to do, right? You know what they're going to do? They're going to put a Jirachi in the active. And that Jirachi's going to have an escape board. And actually, all you're going to do with this particular Pokemon is give your opponent a free use of their Jirachi by putting their Jirachi in the active. They get a choice of what they put active. Most decks are playing Jirachi. They're just going to put Jirachi in the active. Then where are you going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Boo! We're also getting a Heliolisk, and I think this might be my favourite of the ones we're looking at in this video. Heliolisk was really on the edge of having its own video, and then I went, no, you know what? It's not good enough. I do love the artwork, though. VMAX Rising might be one of the best sets for art we've ever had. It's phenomenal. So what do we see with this one? 110 HP is alright for a stage 1. It's not great. I mean, Zapdos is a basic lightning with 110, so, you know, sort it out. Retreat cost of 1 is nice and low. It opens up things like U-turn board, all the aforementioned escape board, and the weakness to fighting at the moment is alright, but if people keep playing stuff like Pikachu and Zekrom, we're going to see more fighting come around. Then again, you're a lightning Pokemon, so that means Thunder Mountain Prism Star. That means Electro Power to do extra damage, so it could be worse. Now, the first attack, 1 lightning energy. Flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And I think if I needed to put one reason as to why I decided I, in fact, didn't really like this Heliolisk, this attack doesn't do any damage. I really do think that's what breaks it for me. That's what makes the card go from ooh to ooh. Because you see, you're just getting rid of energy, getting rid of 1 energy. Now that Seekin I showed you earlier can get rid of up to 3 energy in one go. So I like it. And it wins tournaments. This, on the other hand, doesn't. This is 1, and it's even on a coin flip. If you flip tails, your attack does absolutely nothing. If it was 30 or 40 damage, flip a coin, get rid of an energy, and then you could start dropping Electro Power to start KOing some evolving Pokemon, or just chipping away while you're getting rid of energy, I'd be like, yeah, go Heliolisk. But that's not what it does. We've also got 1 lightning, 1 colourless energy, 120, which is alright, but you do 30 to yourself. And I just don't think we need it. Zapdos does 80 if it became active this turn. We've got Jolteon that does 110 for 2 energy, but also has free retreat and significantly more HP. Though to be fair, it does give up 2 prizes when KO'd, so maybe that's a reason not to. It's not quite good enough. Don't get me wrong, right? I like the fact that you're doing it for 2 energy, and you can use Electro Power, and you can use Thunder Mountain, and all of that good stuff. But 120 just isn't enough. There's a bunch of non-GXs like Hooper that you're not going to be getting a 1-hit KO on here. And you're putting yourself down to 80 HP, which basically guarantees a KO next time. I don't think this is quite good enough. I do like Heliolisk's second attack, let's be clear. 120 for 2 energy is pretty good, but the first attack kind of sucks and the HP's a bit low and you self-damage when you do the attack, and I just think we've got better lightning Pokemon out there, quite frankly. Now, one I'm really not a huge fan of at all is Indeedee. I'm not loving this Indeedee. 100 HP on a basic is fine, nothing more than that. Retreat cost of 1 is quite low. I do like the resistance to fighting, and the weakness to darkness is alright, because outside of Hooper, we're not really seeing much darkness in the metagame at all at the moment. So that's quite nice. But I'm looking at this Indeedee and I just don't know when I'm ever going to want to use it. 1 colourless energy, heal 30 damage from each of your Pokemon. And that sounds good, right? But you're probably giving up a prize to do it. You are probably giving up a prize to heal 30 from each of your Pokemon. Now, let's say for argument's sake we're against that Toxtricity that we talked about the other day. The one that spreads 20 to all of your Pokemon while poisoning the active. Against that Pokemon, this is really good. Outside of that, I'm not sure. You see, pre-rotation, we had Tapu Koko. And Tapu Koko would legitimately be used by a bunch of decks, sometimes as a strategy, sometimes in the early game, to just do 20 to all of your Pokemon. Double colourless energy, 20 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Against that, Indeedee is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Because they do 20, you heal 30. They do 20, you heal 30. They do 20, you heal 30. We could keep going here. The point is, you just completely checkmate them. And if you see somebody playing a Toxtricity trying to do that, yes, it will work. And if you see somebody using a Noivern trying to do that, yes, this will work. But Noivern's been out for a while and nobody's playing it. You see, the thing that made Tapu Koko good was that it was a basic Pokemon with free retreats that used double colourless energy and was played in decks that were playing double colourless energy anyway. Having a free retreater is great. So if it's a one-card tech and it's got a really nice attack and it gives you a free retreater that you probably want anyway, that's one of the reasons why it saw so much play. The issue here is that there's nothing like that around at the moment. Not seeing play anyway. So what's essentially happening is there's not many spreading decks, but you take a bit of damage, you heal 30 from everything, then get KO'd and give up a prize. It doesn't do enough. This does not do enough to warrant giving up a prize. Now, what I will say is, keep it in mind, because this one might legitimately come back in the future. As for the second attack here, no. Psychic colourless energy, 30 damage plus confusion. Look, I love bitter damage, special condition, 1 energy, basic Pokemon. Not 2 energy. No. Play the Xurkitree from Forbidden Light. The Xurkitree from Forbidden Light does 20 damage plus confusion, but for a single energy, on a Pokemon that has 20 more HP, and the same retreat cost, and a significantly better other attack. You see where we're going with this? Xurkitree's just better. And then finally, Skuntank. And Skuntank is trying really hard. It really is. 120 HP is fine. Retreat cost of 3 is super annoying, like we said before. Weakness to fighting, we've talked about. Now, it's a darkness Pokemon, so you've got Black Market Prism Star, so you don't give up a prize. That's quite nice. And you've got Weavile to move all your energy around after you accelerate it with things like Red and Blue or a Naganadel thing we talked about quite a lot. It's fine. But the first attack isn't really trying. The first attack, 2 energy, 50 damage. No! Yes, we can use twin energy. No, we're not going to. But Darkness double colourless 80 damage, plus poison, plus that Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. Almost good. You see, the 80 damage isn't particularly good. But we do like the poison and we do like stopping our opponent retreating. Because then, of course, they've got to keep taking the poison damage. Then, of course, we can always maybe, use that Toxicroak. The one that makes our opponent take an extra 2 damage counters for poison between turns. That could work. That could be fun. And we're almost there. We're almost to a really good attack. But the problem is, people are going to switch. Although, to be fair, I don't know. There's a lot of skateboard going around, so maybe you can trap something in the active. And you aren't doing enough damage to KO something like a Jirachi. Although I should mention, we're not actually 2-hit KOing very much here. In 2 hits, we do 80 plus the 10 for poison. Our opponent can't retreat. We do another 10. That's up to 100. Then we do 80, and then they take another 10 for poison. They're up to 190. And that's enough for some stuff. That's everything up to and including Ultra Necrozma. But there's a whole bunch of Pokemon V like Zacian that you're not getting. And there's, tag team Pokemon and VMAXs, and it's not good enough. It's just not good enough. It's one of those many Pokemon we've seen over the years where it looks fun, and we look at the attack and we go, whoa, 80 damage and poison and stopping them retreating. But then we go, well, it's a stage 1, and it's for free energy, which isn't convenient, and it doesn't do enough damage. So it's kind of too much energy, too little damage, too little HP, going to be giving up a prize. And then we go, well, actually, maybe it's not quite as good as we'd hoped. Hey-ho. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to know what you think about all of these cards. These are the last cards from VMAX Rising, which means we'll be back to looking at winning decks and fun combos and news and history. And, I'm not short of ideas. I could probably, if I was given just time off work and no news dropped, I could probably sit and make 50 videos today. No, it would take way too long. But I could list out 50 videos and start making them. So don't worry. VMAX Rising might be over, but we are far, far from out of ideas. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to know what you think about all of these cards. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are very, very awesome. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.